able to see REC?
I see.
Oh, wonderful. All right, welcome back. Let's see what we have in store in terms of organizational adoption. The moment a medium to large size organization says we want to use processes, we are going to use these new approaches, the moment an organization starts changing in that direction, one of the things that it does and should do is to try and pull together all the knowledge and all the experience that people are collecting in this process of changing. So what I have got here is something that has worked for IT related, software development related processes, project management processes like PMBOK and Prince2, business analysis processes, and any other types of processes. And what we call this exercise of getting all these things together in a common pool is establishing a center of excellence. Now, you will find in the research community there is a center of excellence for research in whatever area people are trying to, expand their research. There is usually a need to pull it all together and then send it out in the organization. So, talk about open as a process, or CFIA as a standard for business analysis. The moment we start doing the transformation program, people start picking up knowledge as you are doing here. The moment you start doing your project, you pick up knowledge. It stays with you. And a good transformation program will say, no, it need not stay with you. The rest of the organization needs to benefit by whatever you are learning as it transforms. So what do? We create a center of excellence within the organization, and that's what this discussion is about. But I have twisted it slightly towards the business analysis / composite agile direction, although it applies to, as I mentioned, other processes as well. So what is the importance? What's the value of the center of excellence, even if it is for just software development processes? So it's a strategic asset. Why? Because you train 300 business analysts in a particular framework, or you train 200 developers in agile, or you train 50 project managers in Prince2. They come back, they start doing their work, the knowledge is all dissipated. It's not strategically usable, it's not being recorded, there is no knowledge management in place. So a center of excellence is actually a approach by an organization to manage its growing knowledge strategically beyond just routine or operational value. And through the center of excellence, we are managing change, especially a complex change. Look at the number of processes that I have talked about. Each of them are multiple subjects. Business management, governance, project management, software development, that is traditional plant, agile software development, modeling, testing, quality assurance, and then there are a few that I might be missing out. Very, very complex, right? So we only take it piecemeal and we just stay there, and the organization doesn't get the value it should get. So a center of excellence is a means to providing that value. What exactly is a center of excellence? So this is a definition that I have picked up from Geiger and Jonathan, and it is a team of people to promote collaboration and application of best practices. Although I would expand it further to say a team of people who are putting together the experiences of the organization in a refined, reusable manner. So we can use software systems to enable business to enable business to use this knowledge. So again, all this situational method engineering approach, we use it once, twice, thrice, it's still gone. Where have we recorded it? Is there a place where I can go when I'm about to start a project to get some estimates on what's the speed of use case development in my organization, or the speed of developing a user story in my organization? If I don't have a center of excellence, there's nowhere to go. It may be ad hoc. Center of excellence makes it very formal. Center of excellence also brings into focus business issues and many other issues. So I have here a list: data integration, project management, enterprise architecture, IT optimization, and enterprise-wide access to information. All the things that I have been talking about in terms of multiple processes, right? Composite agile, multiple processes. That's what a center of excellence is doing. So if that is true, then I really can't say I need a center of excellence for business analysis and I need a center of excellence for project management. I just need a center of excellence. Within that, then of course I need to break it down to say this particular center within the center of excellence will focus on agility, but I still need the overall center of excellence. And from there I can record my experiences, I can publish papers, present, interact, collaborate both within and outside the organization. So I would say the person who is leading that particular center of excellence will have all three skills, practical consulting skills, academic research skills, and something that is between the two. That is, industrial investigative skills. Because that's what a center of excellence is doing. It's doing hands-on work, providing value to the organization. It's doing research work, collaborating maybe with an academic institution, and it is doing industrial investigation, surveys, for example. We talked about organizational adoption. One of the first steps is to find out where my organization stands. How do I find where my organization stands? How do I do my CMM audit or my CFIA skill assessment for my business analyst? The center of excellence can be established to help do this. Okay. And we have been doing it for project management. So a PMO, project management office, is actually a type of center of excellence. So similarly for business analysts, similarly for agile methods, waterfall life cycle if needed. And here of course we are discussing in the context of agile adoption. So we are really going much wider than simply software development or only business analysis or only in the problem space or only in the solution space, much wider. This is specific to analysis, so specific to the problem space work. So a center of excellence for analytical work would provide thought leadership on all initiatives. That I really liked. And some of this I have studied and modified it to suit our discussion. The first statement I really liked was thought leadership. How do we go about doing things? Suddenly there is a person or a group of people who are experts to provide that information. It will be staffed by both business and technology expertise. So that business transformation program can benefit through a center of excellence, because If you want to change the product, networks will be affected, and networks will dictate whether you can change the product or not. So business and technology expertise acting as facilitator, acting as a central point of contact. I want to customize a process component. I want to embed a new agile practice in this particular task or in this particular activity. Should I do it? Should I not? I go to the center of excellence. So become a repository of knowledge and information in terms of processes, experiences of people, metrics and measurement, and industry accepted standards. So someone is out there to help an organization when the organization is changing, to say, yeah, ISO 14001 emission management standard is the way to go. And we have decided, you are deciding, a divisional manager, that we want to use EMS. This is the way I have investigated and found someone else do it. And here is a experience report. So the Center of Excellence will be publishing your white papers, that is not validated, but experience reports, not research papers, but white papers. Enable the organization to conform to external and internal standards. So if there is a benchmark, a Center of Excellence will help achieve that benchmark. Undertake feasibility studies. So whenever we are investigating whether a project should take place or not, Center of Excellence will help undertake those studies and prepare business case for new projects. So in a way, organizational adoption, that is transformation, need not establish a Center of Excellence. That Center of Excellence could be already there, and we are using it for transformation purpose. Or if it is not there, then if I am asked to undertake transformation, I would create a small cell called Center of Excellence with 4 people or 10 people with a certain budget and some technologies, SharePoint to start with, available. Provide expertise in terms of resources, from where to get people, what are the kind of people you need, tools, are there modeling tools, are there prototyping tools, and technologies and standards, and undertake regular benefits management to ensure that value is provided. So what is the benefit and what are the risks? 2 things in particular. So that is what a Center of Excellence would do. And I have now here tried to show where my composite, where the CAM's Center of Excellence will be. And for example, I have got these various centers of excellence. I am giving them as example. Technology Center of Excellence. So this is where, which databases to use. In the past, what challenges we faced in terms of networks or bandwidth or performance, all that is stored somewhere. So whenever a new project starts, it has to go there, to that repository. Project Management Center of Excellence. Metrics, measurements, templates, modified templates for different types of projects. Project management. Initiate a project, create a project charter, do a project plan, some of which you guys are doing already. Then execute the project, track, report, and measure its success, for example. Business Analysis Center of Excellence. Explore at the highest level whether a project is feasible or not. Leadership Center of Excellence. Motivation, morale, all the leadership aspects. And then Process Center of Excellence is where, this is actually not the answer, this is actually the starting point. If I have to start composite agile method and strategy as a Center of Excellence, I would start from the process aspect. But eventually it's going to go around and include all these centers of excellence, excellences. Okay, what am I doing in terms of this Center of Excellence? I'm going to make use of past experience. So one of the things that the person or people in charge of the Center of Excellence are supposed to do is, what happened in that project over there? our typical askme.com is actually a generic center of excellence, because you can say, how to install a audio system in my car. So you give the make and model of the car, and suddenly somebody has done it, and they are saying, use these screwdrivers, and this is the challenge you will face, and be gentle when you remove that frame, and so on. That's what a center of excellence is doing for an organization, right? Past experience. Metrics or measures resulting from metrics are stored in the center of excellence. Current challenges. I need to apply these new processes because my competitors are doing it. I have to embed agility somewhere because I'm not able to respond to change otherwise. And what's the future? Where does the organization want to be? Okay. So a center of excellence will bring all of these together and will become a repository of knowledge. So this is in a way repeating what I said earlier, but through, say, the BI systems. So a BI system is something where you should be able to type a question and get an answer, at least initial one, before you move to a person to seek help. Enforce standard, and you can create templates and put them in your center of excellence. Metrics and measurements, KPIs, key performance indicators, sharing of experiences. Yes, again, through repository of knowledge, but even physical experiences or video posts like these ones can go and fit in a center of excellence. So someone wants to know how to set up a center of excellence, they can go and check this video out, right? With all the keywords to search. And this is with regulations. So a center of excellence can also have legal and regulatory input from people who are experts in these areas. So you can see again how the CAMS is actually changing the focus from just a software process to a full-on integrated all kind of processes, composite process. There are two more slides in which I have simply taken some material that I came across but modified it for the Business Analysis Center of Excellence, but the same would apply to a Project Management Center of Excellence or Software Process Center of Excellence. You should have a vision, so a strategic alignment, a strategic description of what the organization is trying to be. Then scope it so that you know what is included and what is excluded. For example, you might want to simply scope analytical work, business analysis work, and therefore ITIL and Six Sigma may be out of scope for the time being. Where you want to start? Who is the decision maker, the authority? And you need a person in charge of the Center of Excellence who has the ability, who has the funding approved, and who has the ability to take decisions. We will do this or we won't do that. Okay. So while Center of Excellence can be advisory, there is a certain value in providing the authority, decision-making authority. It could be a collaborative decision-making authority. So you can have a look at that. What is it that the Center of Excellence is providing? It can be a recruiting center. Anytime a project needs 3 business analysts and 1 project manager or 1 tester, go to the Center of Excellence. It can be that, but it need not be that. I would put the recruitment function outside, but people can still, project managers can still access it. So it can be a resource center. It is the center where materials are provided like articles, templates, job aids, tools, procedures, methods, practices. So in a way, whatever you are creating in your project can go and sit in the Center of Excellence to be reused by the next semester. I won't do that. Organization. What's the team structure, management and operations, including the roles, the reporting? So this is internal organization. And budgeting and staffing levels and how everything is to be implemented. So roughly describing, these are the steps for Business Analysis Center of Excellence. I would expand it to say any center of excellence. It will all apply to PM Center of Excellence or CAMS Center of Excellence. Okay, this is some material I produced in a couple of books that I had worked on in terms of adopting, in terms of putting together even a Center of Excellence, in terms of the Center of Excellence advising how long it will take before a business has transformed itself. Here is a approximate timeline. So I'm starting with the business in its current confused state. So slide 1, existing business. Then I have got various factors that are going to influence the business, and that was slide number 2. So things like the financial factors, the process, the technology, and the social factors. And the way I have started in the enterprise, if I do a SWOT analysis of the enterprise as it is and figure out where I am, that is the first factor that will influence. And then the financial, the budget will influence. Then the way in which the organization works, process, technology, and social. And here I have only listed the manner in which the organization interacts and the way in which it will change. The first thing that an organization can change is the way it is providing information to its customer. So all of this, the mobile gadgets, the web gadgets, the audio, video gadgets, whatever, the first and the easiest way to change the information that the organization provides. Then comes the way it relates to the customer. So when I am changing an airline to a agile airline, I start giving information differently. Then I start transacting with my customers differently. Then I also change all my internal processes. So the inventory and the HR and the payroll and the financial accounting, all that changes. And finally, I change my interaction with my business partners. And that would take from 3 months to 1 year, a stock standard small to medium size transformation. In reality, this can go up to 3 years, and it is not linear, it is parallel. So you can be changing many things simultaneously. But it gives a rough idea of how these factors influence the way in which an organization changes. So if your organization decides to use a agile method or a composite agile, which includes open as a formal planned method and Scrum as a software development method, you still have to go through information, transaction, operation, and collaboration. Then you will have started ad hoc. Then you will start doing some preliminary changes. The organization reaches that level. So in a way, this can be mapped to CMM, which is where we are going right now. And that managed is a hypothetical state, in my opinion. It is always ongoing change, continuous change, continuous improvement, Kanban and all the Japanese approach. Never stop improving. So these are my maturity levels. We know these were discussed. So CMM is level 1 is initial, repeatable, defined, managed, and optimized. When it comes to my composite agile, which is everything together, what am I doing? How am I measuring a organization? So when I am able to put a project management and a software development process together, I have started with my composite agile. So are those processes matured? I am assuming that they are being used in the organization. Now I have created composite agile from existing 2 processes or more. I have started ad hoc use of mixed methods. So method friction and all the issues associated with using 2 or more methods together, I am experiencing. I can experience it at a project level or at a division level or at an organization level. Then I am able to configure my composite agile, the things that you guys are doing. I am able to bring my process components, I am able to create iterations, I am able to embed practices within activities. much more easily. I am able to do something that is repeatable. Then I have got everything embedded in my regular work and also in jazz as an example. Then I have matured to level 3, because now someone who walks in my organization and asks me a question on project delivery, I can go to the Prince 2 area. And someone asks me about quality and TQM, I can go to the business area. And someone asks me about the last component, the last service, that web service that we released, I can go to Scrum area, if I can configure Jazz to do all that. Right now I think it's only software related, so traditional method and agile method. Then I start doing my measurement. So if I have it in a tool or a suite of tools, not just sticky notes on wall, because that will be very difficult to put together in a reusable metrics form. So if I have got tools and I have got understood its advantages and risk using composite method, I have moved to managed level on CMM scale. And finally, ongoing improvements in CAMS configuration. So CAMS can be a full database of all process components and its elements, but who maintains that database? Who changes it? In a large organization can be very, very complex, because already organizations are struggling with Prince2 and ITIL and Agile. Now I'm saying all of this has to be maintained within the center of excellence. So it's going to be very, very interesting, very challenging. But the flip side, the corollary is that if we don't do that, we will continue with the same problems that we are facing. Someone says this project succeeded. On what basis? Was the user experience great? Was the people management excellent? Was Prince2 working in project management? Was Open working well at traditional planned waterfall or iterative process level? And were the people motivated and trustworthy and honest and courageous? All agile values? Which of this worked? Maybe all of this worked. But we are not able to say right now. So on what basis are we going to say that a project succeeded or failed, or which particular method or process succeeded or failed? We need a mechanism to do that, and that is our level 5. And I think this is the last slide in this lecture, and it is a bit over the top in terms of what we are discussing, but I have still kept it there. It's actually even a part of my current authoring work on composite agile, where I have said there is an area of concern or issue and there is an area of excellence, and we need to balance the two. What I'm really saying is, this is I would really say this is the area of plan and this is the area of flexibility, and then we need to just keep the two in balance. So planning is where time, money, people and transformation plans will occur, and practice is where enactment, monitoring and feedback will occur. And there is a lot more to it than what I have put here, but I still thought I'll keep it there, depending on how much you like it. So whenever I am deploying a method or a suite of methods is the way I should go about it. So whenever I am seeing CAMS, I'm really bringing in strategic element. I'm bringing in more than one method. I'm bringing in a suite of methods. Some of them are existing in the organization, others are to be brought in. So I'm going to do all of this together. That means it has to be all in balance. I cannot say get rid of Prince2 and bring in Agile. That would be wrong, because Agile, as in Scrum or Lean or XP, is not able to do some of the things that Prince2 is doing. So, Agile project management is a good term because it is actually bringing two things together: agility and project management as known traditionally to something like Prince 2 or PMBOK. Very nice. Put the two together. CMM we already looked at. Maturity. The more matured an organization is, the less flexible it becomes. So what do we really mean by CAM's maturity? What do we mean? Balance. We mean balance. Some control and some flexibility. So my Agile manifesto, which I read out to you, is all those 4 statements, but instead of this over that, I'm saying this with that. And that's what this slide is trying to say. Think in balance. That's it. So, it makes sense? Did it make too much sense? You can see that we are approaching this subject, like this topic in particular, from a very, very practical viewpoint. And what I have presented to you in the last hour, hour and a half, is the need to look at processes, A, in a composite manner rather than an individual manner, B, from an organization's viewpoint, not just from a small project or just an individual's viewpoint. That's what I have encouraged you to look at. And once you look at from an organization's viewpoint, rather than your small project or my small project, I have to necessarily think beyond software. I have to necessarily go to so many areas of an organization that I don't know, that I don't care about as a software developer or as a business analyst. In fact, as a business analyst, I do care, but as a project manager, I don't, in some cases. Now, as a project manager, I'm more focused on the output, the delivery. But what value that delivery adds to the business, I may not be interested, out of scope. And if I am interested, then I'm actually much more than a project manager. I'm a business analyst. Then comes the governance standard. And then comes the quality standard, the TQM. So I have encouraged you to think, whenever you are asked in practice to look at a new process or start using a new process in software development, you have to take 2 steps back, 3 steps back, and say, this is not the only thing that is happening in this organization. Everything else, where is it? And I want to know about it before I start using Agile in software development or open in software development, or before I start customizing method engineering, situational method engineering. You guys are given a situation that has more challenges than just software development, right? I don't think you can apply all of this, not in the time that you are given, but certainly worth keeping in mind. All right. Okay, thank you. You can stop the recording.